This year, I've heard politicians from both left-wing and right-wing parties say they think autism assessments are getting out of control and that this is being massively overdiagnosed. I think the inference is that somehow this is putting pressure on our health system and that there should be a cap on people coming forward to try and reduce costs. I've been working with late identified autistic adults for the last 5 years now, and in my experience, finding out you're autistic isn't when people start accessing mental health services. That's quite often when they stop. In my own case, before I knew I was autistic, I'd go to the doctor all the time. I was referred for cognitive behavioural therapy, psychological counselling, I was cycled on and off antidepressants, and none of it seemed to work. Everything felt like a sticking plaster. At one point, I was given some relaxation tapes for social anxiety. Nobody ever asked why I was socially anxious. Another time, I was put on antidepressants at the same time that there was building work being done in our house. And now I think I wasn't depressed. I was just an autistic person not coping with the disruption and the changes to my routine and brick dust being on everything. Looking at my clients, quite often before they knew they were autistic, they have been diagnosed with something else, whether that's depression, anxiety, exhaustion, generalized anxiety disorder, or in some cases borderline personality disorder that they now see as a misdiagnosis and they're trying to get removed from their records. The other great bit about my job is being able to remove people's shame. If I work on going with somebody, it might be after a few calls they finally pluck up the courage to say, I've never been able to name how I'm feeling. And then I can go, there's a word for that. It's called alexithymia. There are other people like you. There are tips and strategies that can help. We can talk about that if you'd like. Or they might say, I never know who I'm talking to. There's a word for that too. It's called prosopagnosia, otherwise known as face blindness. There are people out there who share this. You are not alone. And watching people come back on future calls, looking happier and having their shame lifted is the best part of my job. Why should we be putting a cap on people getting the right help that they need and having their shame taken away just because a politician thinks this is happening to too many people and we should limit the number who get the benefit?